Since AIDS was first identified in 1982, Southern Africa has been one of the most seriously affected regions in the world. The HIV virus and its related illnesses like tuberculosis and pneumonia have affected the ability of many people to continue working and care for their children. Since 2001, African AIDS Angels has sent over $300,000 to Southern Africa, funds raised via angel dolls and direct donations. This slideshow illustrates the 4 programs AIDS Angels supports in 3 countries. The first country is South Africa, where there are 2 separate programs. The first one is an orphanage run by Catholic sisters at a rural mission station in KwaZulu-Natal. The mission was in operation before the advent of HIV/AIDS, but when the number of orphans began to overwhelm local families, the mission became a haven for babies who needed care. There are usually about 30 children at the center. They may go back to their extended families at a later date if the family's capacity to care for them improves, or they may be adopted if the sisters can find a family. When the children are older, they attend primary school alongside children from the local village. One of these girls lives at the orphanage, and the other is from the village. Some of the children have illnesses related to AIDS and are too ill to attend school. These children are getting some education within the orphanage. In addition to the orphanage, AIDS Angels funds go to projects that the sisters run to help the surrounding area. These school children from the village are given lunch each day, and the sisters provide outreach assistance to people affected by AIDS who need supplementary food or other care. The second project in South Africa is support to a large hospital's program called Born to Live. A special unit in the hospital monitors pregnant women who are HIV positive and their newborn babies, encouraging them to follow up with medication and counseling. The success rate for this program in preventing transmission of HIV to the babies is very high. Although the South African government has started paying for appropriate drugs, an important component of the success of this program is the counseling and support that the hospital provides with AIDS Angels funds. The second country is Zambia, where we send funds to an Anglican center outside the capital, Lusaka. The first part of this program in Zambia is an orphanage. There are about 35 children at the orphanage, and they are older than the ones in South Africa. These children do not have HIV. They can attend primary and secondary school right in the same compound. Like South Africa, the center was not set up to be an orphanage. In the past, African children whose parents died or were unable to care for them would be raised by aunts and uncles. The effect of AIDS is that sometimes there are no adults left, or the only adult is an elderly grandmother who may be unable to provide basic necessities. The orphanage acknowledges the donations from AIDS Angels by displaying this logo on one of the cottages. Many of the children finish secondary school and continue on to technical training or university. At a later date, these children may be able to return to extended family members. While their physical needs are well cared for in a setting like this, and there is an attempt to create a sense of family, the ideal social situation is for children to be raised in a regular home. The second part of the Zambia program is an agriculture support project. The center supports families in rural resettlement villages who need help with seeds, fertilizer, and hired labor. By helping people create their own livelihoods through growing adequate food, families are able to stay together and support each other. The third country is Malawi. Over 80% of the money for Malawi comes from a project of the Salt Spring Island Garden Club called Seeds for Malawi, which then passes the funds to African AIDS Angels. The rest comes from AIDS Angels, and between us we are the only source of funds for these projects. These people are farmers who receive assistance with seeds and fertilizer. Many of them are elderly people supporting children who have lost their parents. Each farmer receives help for 3 years, with the expectation that they will be more self-sufficient by that time. The organizers have helped up to 80 farmers per year, but they now have a more realistic goal of 50 farmers. The organizers run this program as volunteers. A second part of the Malawi program provides financial assistance and food to parents with AIDS. The parents in this photo are on medication and unable to farm, so their son in the orange t-shirt is the main breadwinner. Another part of the Malawi program pays secondary school fees for about 35 young people whose parents have been affected by HIV/AIDS, and they would not be able to continue in school without these funds. For several years, the Malawi program included small-scale agriculture training for young people to help them start food gardens. While it was successful and popular, the organizers found that it took too much time and the young people needed more supervision than they could provide as volunteers. Each of the projects supported by African AIDS Angels has expanded and evolved since donations started in 2001. As a group with support from generous people like you, African AIDS Angels is pleased that we are able to assist children and families toward a healthier future in Southern Africa.